In this video I will show how I install the lock. This lock is called the Latch Secure Pro. It is a digital lock. It can be used three ways. You can type the code, which is rotating so it cannot be peeked. You can use a physical key, and you can also use your phone Bluetooth to open the door. On rotating, I mean that the position of the numbers are changing every time you want to type in the code, but also you cannot just see the numbers individually, but they're grouped in three, and the groups are changing too. Yeah, you will see it's pretty interesting, but it works fine. It just means that the person next to you can never figure out the exact code. Normally when you buy a door, it has the holes for the lock drilled out. I had to start from scratch. I was using this hole saw. The size is 54 millimeters, equaling 2 inches and 1/8 of an inch. So right from the start, I had to change the orientation of the latch. The rule is, if you look at your door and if the hinge is on the left side of the door, then you have a left swing door. And by default, this lock came with right swing, so I had to unlock and turn it around and change some pins and screws. First, you have to turn the key in open position, and you have to push the pins on both sides at the same time to be able to take out and rotate and push back the latch to the left swing from the default right swing position. It's already correct for me. I just couldn't push the pins both at the same time while I was filming. I couldn't find a tool that the manual was showing, so but you can use this pin pusher, and in addition you can use a drill bit or end of a plier. Okay, so this is what I have to unscrew and move the latch. Okay, so I moved it to the other side, so this is gonna be on the inside. And you see, okay, so this is the spindle, and this has to be inserted and locked with a locking pin. The locking pin is the D. Okay, so this locking pin, I suppose, has to be bent with the plier to lock. Yeah, I bent it with the needle nose plier so it doesn't come off, so now it's in place. Yeah, so I bent it with the needle nose plier this end, so it's in place. Okay, so I had to drill a hole here for F1. So I have to insert F1 in the door. Oh, I have to drill more. Okay, so unfortunately, because I took out some material previously for the previous latch to match, because it was an iron with the thickness, I have to replace that. This, I have to cut some material. Okay, so I choose a 60 millimeter because I made my own door, and I just put it closer. But the F2 has this part and the screws.
and I'm gonna have to use this still to add thickness to the wood. So I still have to drill out the middle of this wood extension that I have. Okay, this is what I need. Alright, so here is my wood extension, and here is this, roughly in the middle, and now I just have to put those screws in here. And this is oriented the right way. Put these screws in. This is how it looks now. Looks pretty stable. I could still put some silicone maybe under. So now I have to insert this, guiding the cable under. Okay, so you see how this is not really in the middle. I have to extend this whole shift a little bit this way. Although I was following exactly the measurements, it's still not far enough. But first I have to take this out. Yeah, this is really not easy, but I have to do this. Silicone. It's just as good as crazy glue. Back in place. Wonder if I could further enhance it with some, maybe just a little bit on the side. So now we have to push it through. Yep. Awesome. Awesome. Let's push through. And it stays there. I have to work on the inside. Positioning rod is V. I'm gonna have to insert it to the threaded receptacles. And make sure the rods the positioning rods come through. Okay, so now I have to use one of these screws from letter O. One screw above the spindle without a tool, she said. Okay, so now I can tighten the screw. It's exactly right. Make sure this is correct. I can take out the positioning rods for correct alignment. We needed this. Oh wow. Yes. I guess I have to spin this one a little bit. Okay, there you go. Okay, so we're gonna get the other screws with hand. So yeah, it's suggested to do it by hand. Make sure you don't mess up the thread accidentally. Next, I have to plug in the cable, align the red with the red. So just to show, that's the side is red, and this one also has a red. So and I wish I had my Phillips screwdriver, but I left it somewhere at home. This is what you're not supposed to do. She's saying to get the screws in right first. So the manual was talking about putting a third screw, and there's no place for the third screw unless, of course, she didn't say so. You push the button and there you go. You can put the third screw in, and also with the batteries. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so now it's time to drill a hole here in the middle. But it also fits better. Yeah, it fits perfect. Look at this. You don't need to do a lot. It's enough. Oops, and yep, if you have an issue, I put this beautiful curb, and now I have to shave it off. Unfortunately, but that's okay. No big deal. Yeah, so I just marked the portion that I had to take out. Also on the bottom. Let's get to work. Okay, so it looks like I have to shave out 1 inch, so this is exactly 1 inch. This drill. Afterthought. Sometimes I am asked what would I have done different. So in this case is using the F2 locking mechanism, which is 70 millimeters instead of 60, would have helped me 10 millimeters.
which is a little bit less than a half inch, so I didn't have to shave off from the door. So yeah, I should have used F2, but it's not a big deal, it's still okay. I am very happy the way this has turned out, and after it's physically installed, you have to download the app, and for me that's the only way I could program it, is to get the app, and there is like a certification inside the box that you have to scan in order to not just be able to unlock anyone's lock. You have to certify that you bought the lock, so there's a certification inside the box, and you have to scan it with the app, and it will let you access the programming with Bluetooth, and then you can program your PIN code, and you can also unlock the lock with the phone, which is really cool.